Hi, I am Pratham. Today in this video we are going to discuss about how JavaScript works and how JavaScript is different from the other high level languages like C, C++ and Java and Python. So let's dive into it. So firstly I want to show you an picture that represent a memory which is assigned to the JavaScript program when it is going to be interpreted. So we have a stack segment, a heap segment and a queue segment. You have noticed that stack and heap are common in other languages, but this queue is something new in JavaScript, which makes the JavaScript to perform asynchronous operations and make it like a concurrent application. Let's understand each of the segments in deep. Firstly, I am going to explain the stack segment. So stack segment is a part of memory which has to assign to be a static variables, like the variables which have a data type, numbers, string and all the primitive which is included in the JavaScript. All the memory of those variable has been assigned into the stack segment. Also the reference to the object and the reference to the function is also being saved here in the stack segment. So here you can see we have a frame like structure. So what are those frames? So let's understand it through an example that we have a function foo which is having a variable a and just calculating something that is a plus b plus 11, and I have a function also bar which is having a variable y and just calling the foo function with this calculated value, and a variable base that is being assigned by the number which is calculated by this bar. If I print it here bars, then you can see that it is printing 42 all the calculations. So how it works in the stack segment, let's understand that. When this function is created, so this function is not created inside the stack, and this also but this variable is declared in one single frame of the stack, which is just a current frame of the stack. When I call the bar, it creates a new frame which is having a static variable x and variable y, and then this function calls foo. So this bar function has been pushed into the stack as a frame along with the variables, and we move to the next function foo, and when this function is being terminated, this function is also create a frame which is having a static variable a and doing some calculation. And when this function is being terminated, JavaScript interpret go to the previous function which is present at the top of the stack, that is a bar function along with the variables which is present inside the bar function. When this function is terminated, then it returns the value 42 to the base. So here when bar is called, then it creates a new frame and push bar function along with the static variables inside the stack, move to the foo function and perform the operation, and then get back bar function from the stack and then perform the operations, then calculate the value and assign value to the base. This is how stacks work. So now let's discuss the heap segment, that when we create these functions, so these functions are actually declared in the heap segment, that is a dynamic segment, and all the things for which we don't know the how much memory needed for that is allocated their memory in the heap segment. So majorly the object and functions are rest here, and the arrays also, and all the primitive data types with the known memory size is being stored in the stack segment. So now let's move to the queue segment. Here queue is just a simple queue which is just taking a message, and when this message needs to be performed, it take out from the queue and perform this operations, and then next operations, then next operations. So how do this queue helps JavaScript to perform asynchronously? Let's get into that. So let's assume we are having a set timeout. which is just now. This set timeouts create a delay of 1 second and printing 1 to the console. When set timeout line is interpreted, then it push this function after 1 second into the queue, and if the queue is already empty, then it pop out from the front of the queue and performs which has written inside this handler and waits for the another task if something like this comes again into the queue. So in JavaScript we have something like event loop. So this queue is known as macro task queue, and it helps to perform the operation without affecting the JS main thread. As we know that JavaScript is a single threaded language, so can't perform CPU intensive task in a one go. If we do that, we'll hang out our other operations like mouse movement, scrolling movement, and give a bad UI experience. So this queue rescue us from affecting the JS main thread. Like when we have to perform some CPU intensive task, we just push it into the queue, like waiting for the API response, reading a file from the hard disk. These operations are time consuming, and these are not should be performed as synchronously, otherwise it will create a lag in UI. So if I have a function that is just console.log 1, then the set timeout 2, and I am not waiting for any second. I am just giving it a 0 second. So it seems like it should perform after the first console, but it is not like that. Let's check that. Define again a function with 3, call it. So here you can see that it is first printing 1 and then 3, then 2. So it is printing that 1 3 2, but why? Because when we declared a set timeout, it push this function into the event queue after a 0 second. Just push this queue into the event queue and move to the next this until this operation is completed. The event queue is busy with this task, and when this demo function is completed, that event queue looks for the next task, that is this handler, and it prints 2. So this is how event queue works and event loop in JavaScript. I hope you understand it, and if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and share the video, and stay tuned with me. Thank you.